For decades, we all thought of Apple in one simple way. It was a hardware company. Its success, its stock price, its whole story, it was all tied directly to how many iPhones it sold every single year.
But here's the thing. That old story, it just doesn't add up anymore. It doesn't explain its massive, incredibly stable valuation today. To really understand that, you gotta look at this multi-billion-dollar shift that's been happening, kind of quietly, right under the surface. Okay, let's get into it.
To really get to the truth here, you have to split Apple into two totally different companies. First, there's the Apple you see, the one selling you those shiny new iPhones and Macs. And then, there's the Apple you don't see, which is quietly becoming the most important part of the entire business.
So, first up is that hardware business. And honestly, you can think of it like this insane, high-cost treadmill. It's a constant, expensive race to innovate, year after year. It's totally exposed to competition, to global supply chain nightmares, and of course, to whether or not people feel like spending money.
But then, there's the other Apple, the second entity. And this is where it gets really interesting. We're talking about services, the whole digital world of the App Store, iCloud, Apple Music, you name it. This side of the business plays by a completely different set of rules. And believe me, they are way, way more profitable. This is Apple's hidden engine.
And the sheer scale of this hidden engine, it's just staggering. Get this. In a single recent quarter, the services division pulled in $24 billion. Now, to put that in perspective, that single quarter number is bigger than the entire annual revenue of most of the companies in the S&P 500. Just wow.
But, that massive revenue number, that's really only half the story. The real secret sauce behind that $3 trillion price tag isn't just how much money they're making, it's how cheaply they make it. It all comes down to one crucial thing: profit margin.
And this right here, this is where the story gets really, really good. Because when you put the profitability of Apple's two sides head-to-head, it's not even a fair fight. Okay, so check this out. After you pay for all the parts, the factories, the shipping, Apple's hardware makes a really healthy 35 to 40% profit margin. Not bad at all, right? But then, look at services. There's practically no manufacturing, no shipping boxes around the world, so its margins, they're over 70%. That's nearly twice as profitable for every single dollar that comes in. Absolutely incredible. So you're probably wondering, how on earth do they pull off margins like that? Well, it really boils down to two super powerful interlocking pieces that create this giant financial fortress around the company. First, there's the one you've probably heard about, that infamous 15 to 30% cut Apple takes from pretty much every app, every sale, every subscription on the App Store. And second, and this is the real kicker, they now have over 1 billion paid subscriptions around the world. 1 billion. That creates this massive, super reliable river of cash that just keeps flowing in month after month. And that huge subscription base makes their services income just incredibly stable. I mean, think about it for yourself. When money gets tight, you might put off buying a brand new iPhone, right? But are you going to go through the hassle of canceling your $2 iCloud storage plan? Probably not. It makes that whole side of the business basically recession-proof. And that predictability? That's exactly why Wall Street is obsessed with the services division. Investors have started looking at it less like a risky tech company and more like, a power company. A stable, boring utility that just keeps printing cash quarter after quarter. And the market rewards that consistency with a huge premium. What that means is investors will pay way more for $1 of profit from services than they will for $1 from hardware. We're talking more than double the value. Why? Because it's just so much more predictable and so much more profitable. So here's the big takeaway. Apple's value isn't really about iPhone unit sales anymore. That's the old way of thinking. The new formula, what really drives the stock now, is the number of subscriptions they have, how much money they make from each of us on average, that's ARPU, and that huge valuation Wall Street puts on that steady, reliable income.
And this quote just nails it perfectly. The hardware, the iPhone, the Mac, the Apple Watch, it's not really the main product anymore. It's the key to the kingdom. It's the entry ticket you buy to get inside the real money-making machine, which is built for perpetual recurring income.
This just completely reframes how we should think about Apple. It's almost like they've shifted from being a company that sells you things to a company that sells you access. And that leaves us with a pretty wild final thought to chew on.